how hard he's working. It just seems like the goals are great, but he's working his socks off. Or how would you describe the way Christian Benteke is approaching his game?
Yeah, and he's a real team player. I think his work ethic, his engagement in the team defensively has been great, and he's been a real fresh breath of fresh air to us, to the team, and not just not Christian. I think that's Taxi when Taxi's been available to play, Mateusz Klich, Lewis O'Brien, all the players have bought into what we're trying to do, and firstly we want to be a hard team to play against, and that takes every player on the pitch to work hard, and I've been really delighted with the players for the attitude and the work ethic they've been putting in.
You mentioned it would be a hard team to play against. You look at the last 3 games, the only goal was scored. It was kind of a fluke. You're trying to clear it against Nashville, and it went in. Can you just talk about the defensive progress you're seeing and why that is?
Yeah, I think obviously with the change of formation, I think it's suiting us. It's suiting our defensive players, and certainly the centre backs to have the 3 in there, and then obviously with the wing backs have changed constantly throughout the season, whether that's Andy, Pedro, Ruan, now Dirk and Samake, who's coming from Loudon, Greeny. So that has constantly changed. So I think having the stability of the 3 centre backs, because we haven't had the stability of the wing backs or full backs, if you like, has really helped us.
Next, we'll go to James Graham.
All right, I just talking about the upcoming summer transfer, and in particular Lewis O'Brien, how his loan deal is coming to an end in July. Is there any talk about potentially extending his loan deal or anything beyond the summer?
Yeah, well, I think we're obviously waiting on Nottingham Forest because, of course, he's their player, and it's something which I've spoke to Lewis about. And of course, we'd love to keep him. We do everything we can to try and keep him here. But ultimately, it's down to Nottingham Forest. So I think once they've wrapped up their season, I'm sure there'll be some dialogue with ourselves and them and Lewis and Nottingham Forest to see where it's at and see if it's a possibility we can keep him, because he's been so important to us. His performances and his attitude has been first class. So it'll be a huge loss if we do have to lose him in July.
Cheers, thank you.
Next, we'll go to Neil Davidson.
Thank you, Wayne. It's Neil Davidson from the Canadian Press in Toronto. You played Toronto in your season opener in a stoppage time thriller. I'm wondering what you're expecting from them on the weekend. They're a team that's not had many good results recently, but you could probably argue that they're better than those results have shown.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It's the main focus on the game on Saturday is us, if I'm being honest, because Toronto, as you said, they're not going through a great moment. I think it's clear that there's been a bit of words between players and maybe staff. So we don't know where that's at. We don't know which players are going to play. We don't know how they're going to play, if I'm being completely honest with you. So the main focus is on ourselves and making sure we do our job right and we go in there with the right mindset to try and win the game. And what we have to be really cautious of is Toronto have got some really good players who can hurt you. So and at any given moment, then players can hurt you and win the game for Toronto. So we have to make sure our mindset and our focus and concentration is 100% for 90 minutes.
Thank you.
And we will end it with Dave Johnson.
And Wayne, obviously, Mateusz Klich had a great goal celebration that you probably smiled about. But as you look at this team right now, are you seeing the signs that, hey, this is my team. This is the way a Wayne Rooney team should play. And if so, could you just talk about that?
Yeah, I think as I said before, firstly, we're a hard-working team and hard to beat, which is always a must. But I think what we're starting to do now, I think we're playing some really good football. We're mixing it up. We're not just a possession-based team. We can go direct. We get crosses into the penalty area. In my opinion, we've got the best goalkeeper in the league, in Tyler Miller, who's really performing at such a high level. I think we're a team who are still progressing. I think we can get better as well, but we're certainly stepping in the right direction, which is a real positive for us.
You mentioned best goalkeeper. In your opinion, there probably is some extra pride because it seems like he really is taking on that challenge of being the keeper, sweeper, whatever you want to call it. He says he loves that role.
Yeah, and I think he does it. He does it different to obviously any keeper, I believe, in this league. And I think his composure on the ball has been first class, but also his positioning, he's picking up behind the defence, and the security he gives the defence has been excellent. So I think he's performing at such a high level that we're all delighted with him and delighted for him, because he obviously not played for a long time at Minnesota, and he seems to have dusted himself down really quickly and really got into a good pattern of form.